Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to the next episode review of Season 2 of The Devil's a Part-Timer, Episode 4, and once again, how much I love the show, well, the series altogether though, but, like I said, big fan of Devil's Part-Timer, and this episode was another really great episode. I loved it. Now we see how, see Alice being super baby, basically. Almost taking out Gabriel with one shot, right? That was just really amazing and badass. Well, because I would figure this, because since I've read the manga, I kind of expected all that part, because I know what pieces parts are gonna happen, right? But seeing it on the TV screen, it was really still badass regardless. But anyway, yeah. But episode 4, like, how in the beginning, how when Maou asked Emmy to stay the night at his place, to be with Alice, and as they're gonna sleep, Maou tells Alice a story. She wanted him to tell him a bedtime story, right? And he tells about basically the story is almost kind of like the story about reminiscing of his life, though. But even though he says he made that story up, though, there is truth to that part of that story. What Emmy's saying, right? Because he's asking, was that really something you made up, though? But it was a little bit of truth behind the story, because some of it was representing of Mao's life back years back, right? And which I thought was sweet, though, just trying to tell Alice the story. And then by the next morning, Gabriel, he's just sitting there casually lying on the floor next to them, just being just teleported into their apartment, just laying there casually looking at them, just waiting, right? He said he was gonna be here tomorrow, and now he's there early, and now he says that's how he still wants to have either take your pick. You want the baby, or you want Emmy's secret sword, because it also has a secret stone that's on her sword as well. So you take your pick, right? One or the other. And since Gabriel summons his sword, which cuts through Emmy's blade like it's nothing, and then we get the baddest part of Alice, becoming super baby. Just goes and just because he doesn't want any harm to come to her mama and papa, right? Because like I said before, Maou is understandably being her pop, because he's the one who planted her in that when she was in that fragment, planted her in that pot. Her calling her Papa is definitely understandable, but we'll call her Emmy Mama. Well, because seeing how that she's related to the angel that saved Maou, which it is, because that is Emmy's mother, which you said you didn't see any of that in the first season, but even though there was a flashback when those people of the church were taking Emmy away when she was a kid, before Emmy's father saying that you have half angel in you, your mother was the angel. So which I already knew all this stuff, because like I said, I read the manga, so I knew that about all the stuff that's happening, especially with Emmy's mother being the angel, which we hear at the end credits. The name is Lilith, and which was funny was Gabriel was. Well, I'll get to that though, but still, or was it not Lily? It was Layla. Because I was getting confused with a Lilith of another anime I'm currently watching. So Lilith, Layla, I got those two names confused. But getting back with Alice, she goes and powers up and just goes boom, just sends him flying right out into first breaking through the wall first, but sends him flying right out there in the city, and Alice single-handedly almost beats him to death with it, with her own strength, which that was kind of like, if you have this little toddler enough to defeat an angel like Gabriel. At this time, I think he should just pack up and went right there, though. But no. And then back at the house, while Emmy's with Alice, everyone else back at the house with Maou and Susanoo and also on everyone else, like more of a Gabriel's 8 soldiers. They were like by his side like the last episode. They were there about to get them right, but then of course, then Lucifer, Urushihara, for finally doing something for once, right? He finally uses his authority to tell them, no, don't do anything like that. You stay out of it, right? Because things like he's an archangel, so that's basically he had some command authority over them, and they're like, okay. They just stood there like this, okay. So that's that Lucifer finally did something for once, and then Susanoo gives Maou a ride, and she goes and rides. Susanoo goes and rides her giant hammer, rides like the Wicked Witch of the West from the Wizard of Oz, just rides it on like a witch on a broom. And that was the funny thing is, I was waiting for something when Alice was beating the crap out of Gabriel, right? Yeah, I was just part of me was like waiting like the song to pop up. She's got the power. It was a song that was playing in the original Sailor Moon series. Like what was being like was it the third season, second? I think it was more like this. Yeah, it was more like the half of the second season, what big against those Nega Moon universe characters like Ruby, Sapphire, like those ones that were after Rinny, and when they come in when the Sailor Scouts came in, they had that song "She's Got the Power" that was playing. I was waiting for for Alice, she's got the power, yeah, she's got the power. But that was just me though. I was just thinking that. But then and Susan sends Maou flying, crashes right into Gabriel, and Emmy's like, huh? And then Gabriel whispers something to Emmy. She whispers something to Emmy, but we don't hear it yet. But until like after the credits, though. No, sorry, that wasn't after the credits. So it was after that. After the fire, they went back to the house. Gabriel goes and says to her, "Is like, I hope you'll choose to prioritize the world's safety." I guess the thing is, because how would you? Well, I was thinking, who's part angel, right? Fighting against other angels, right? And then after when with her sword broken all that, there's this flat. Does this flash of light, and then Maou thinks what happened to her, and we get a bit more of the more human parts of Maou. Like I said, ever since season 1, ever since he goes from being a cold-hearted, right, demon king, killing humans, right, until like for season 1 he's become more human. He helped people from the subway collapse, and helping with Chi and all that, and then here he's become more human, and shows more of his human side, you could say, that how he was so upset that they thought he lost Alice, someone who called her Papa is gone, right? Even she was like, he was so depressed he couldn't work, because he was sitting at work and sitting in the corner, right, because he couldn't work, and even after outside the doorstep of his apartment, that he was like doing a little funeral thing, with this thing or with a fire in a bowl, right? Kind of give a little funeral to Alice, because he was legitimately sad because he thought he lost something that he really loved, and which priors the thing into how when Emmy's mom, we showed in the flashback in the second or first episode, that how that angel saved him when he was a kid, saying how could an angel help save a demon, right? because they said he was because he was crying. You know, did she do it out of pity, or maybe she saw something in him? You know, later on, which made him break away from that to become the Demon King. So a lot of the raising questions for everyone who has not read the manga. It's probably sends a lot of raising questions and mystery around Layla, which at the end credits, after the end credits, Gabriel's at Kentucky Fried Chicken, talking to Sariel, the Archangel from the last season, who's now, like I said at the beginning of the start of the show, he's like gaining a whole bunch of weight. You know, he's now the fat angel Sariel, still trying to win McDonald's manager over. Yeah, because he's talking to him, right? Because he kind of knows he knows some things about what was going on, right? So then Gabriel goes and tells her the name Layla, which is Emmy's mother. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot more interesting how more of the mystery of Emmy's mom unfolds later, the future down the line, and afterwards that. But going back with Maou, how he said about he thought he lost Alice, but she's right there because the thing is, what she did during that battle, she merged with Emmy's sacred sword. So now she is now Emmy's new weapon. Alice can become now the sacred sword, be stronger too, which is kind of funny that factors in now that how many times Emmy wants to destroy the Demon King, right? Wants to kill Maou, right? Well, now that she can't do that now because her weapon, her sacred sword, is now Alice, who she calls Papa, that she loves so much. She can't do that. Emmy can't do that now. She's talking to Chio, and that's when they go back, and Alice is there, and how Maou, he was so happy he starts crying. You know, it's kind of like how he was crying when he was a kid when Layla saved him, right? And Emmy's like, "Are you crying?" And of course, typical thing how you see in all these other characters. "Oh, I'm crying? No, I'm not crying at all." So yeah, then she remembers what Gabriel said to her. Like I said, prioritizing the world's safety. So yeah, I thought it was another really great episode. Sorry, I had to cut there. I had to freaking sneeze. Didn't want to do that on camera. So I had to cut that right there. But anyways, I was saying, once again, another really great episode, and listen, seeing Alice become super baby, that was really badass, just kicking Gabriel's ass. But like I said, more and get some good, more character moments. Like I said, with Maou, how he's crying, almost like dealing with the loss of something that he, for a long time, that he loved. You know, someone who called her Papa so much that meant the whole world to her. You know, giving like a little funeral to him. You know, he was just so sad. Like he couldn't even work. Lucifer doing something for once, right? It was like you're using like his part of more of his authority to tell these soldiers, "Hey, back off." And like I said, more of the mystery was more on the tree of life that was mentioned in the previous episode with Gabriel, what his mission is, his goal is, and more mystery surrounding with Emmy's mom. It's gonna be another really good, interesting, more everything unfolding, right? But also at the same time having some good comedy, a little bit of drama, like I said, with Mou's part, with dealing with like a loss. A little bit of drama with that too, so it definitely has a good mix and definitely good. It has good, wholesome heart to it. It still has. Like I would with the series that the first season I enjoyed a lot. So, but yeah, episode 4, another really great episode. And so yeah, but anyway, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next videos, and we'll see you all next time.